Hello, everyone. Welcome to God's According to CD. So, guys, let's go to the Western Cape, and I will remind you again because it seems like we have forgotten. You know what's going on in Ghana with the Igbo king, so-called king, or whatever it is. Some people call him King of 419, which I think is history. But anyways, listen, check this video out. Check this video.
The vote of Governor of Imo State Union, Western Cape, South Africa, elect today, from today, he's officially Governor of Imo State. From today. From today. Our Governor, Project Paul, to 76 votes to be governor.
Exactly. The people from this state seems to have a problem. And the problem is definitely psychological. How do you go to somebody else's land? Because the Western Cape is a province in South Africa. And then you create a state in the province of another country. And then you go ahead and even elect a so-called governor. And now you are trying to get what? South Africans to accept this because sometime in the future, y'all are going to claim the Western Cape, subsequently South Africa, and you're going to start demanding representation in our politics or body of politics because that so-called Imo state, they are going to start making demands. Remember how they love saying, my right, it's my right. How is it your right in another people's country? And they're going to demand for representation. They're going to demand for recognition of that particular Imo state in the Western Cape, South Africa. In case you did not hear that, man. And these guys, they truly and honestly disrespectful to every country they land in. You know, there's a video in Vietnam where Nigerians are demanding rights. I keep trying to get the video, but for some reason, I can't find it. But what's going on in Vietnam as of last year, 2024, the Vietnamese government banned Nigerians from coming to Vietnam. So how did they do that? They stopped giving them visas to Vietnam. And apparently not because they want to go stay in Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam is poor. It's a poor country. And it's a transition for them. So now the Vietnamese government is saying, we're no more going to give you visas because many Nigerians, instead of continuing with their transition, they stay in Vietnam illegally. They become illegal immigrants. So much so now they have started doing their nonsense, similar nonsense as what they're doing in Ghana. And this is a very video that you just saw, and others are committing crimes. Others are committing crimes in Vietnam. Now, Vietnam cannot afford to deport them because, again, their GDP does not allow them to do that. It's too expensive. It's too many of them. And apparently, the jails in Vietnam are filled with Nigerians, filled to the brim with Nigerians. So much so that the Vietnamese government has communicated with the Nigerian government, asking the Nigerian government to come and please collect their people. But the Nigerian government, as per usual, will do what? Ignore, because they think ignoring is solving the problem. So now these Nigerians have gone as far as fighting back the Vietnamese police. There was even one video I saw where a Nigerian giving a hot one across the face of a Vietnamese police. How do you do that? How do you do that in another person's country? So now let's go back to the video that I just played you, a so-called Imo state in the Western Cape, South Africa. This is, of course, Nigerian people disrespecting South Africa, its sovereignty, as well as the province of Western Cape. And then you have to ask yourself a question. What happened thereafter? Did the South African government, especially the intelligence, visit these particular people and then gotten more information about this, and then after that charge them with treason? Because that's treason. It's treasonous what they have done. because now they are declaring things that do not belong to them. They don't know how the Western Cape became the Western Cape. They don't know. They don't bother reading and enlightening themselves about the countries they go to. They go there because everything is already done. People have lost lives, people lost loved ones, there were wars that were fought. What were they doing? Sitting there in Nigeria just waiting. Oh, okay, now it's over. And then they go and reap the benefits of the people that's supposed to be reaping those benefits. What kind of a mentality is this? Somebody must please explain this to me because I don't get it. I don't get it. Right now, I'm also watching some videos as well of Nigerians that are denied visa into Vietnam, basically mocking Vietnam. They are mocking Vietnam. They're like, well, Vietnam is not issuing visas to Nigerians, and yet the Nigerian GDP is bigger than that of Vietnam. What does that got to do with that? What does that got to do with that? Because it has everything to do with the Vietnamese national security, which now we are beginning to see on the videos where Nigerians are fighting Vietnamese police because the Vietnamese police are doing their job to execute law and order. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Law and order is something they hate, guys. And systems, they hate systems. The moment a system is too perfect and working for that country, they want to corrupt it because they want that system to allow them to do as they please. Go to Canada right now. They are busy fighting the Canadian system. You go to England, they're fighting the English system. Yeah, in South Africa, they're doing the same thing. When are they going to take all that energy and go back home and apply it there? They are scared of a sickly old man that controls the country from Italy. He's a digital nomad. He's running the country from Europe. And they are afraid to face him. But they got all this energy to disrespect Black Americans, to disrespect South Africans, to disrespect Vietnam, to disrespect Canada, to disrespect the UK, to disrespect wherever they are. They are their own enemy, and they do not want to acknowledge that. Look at this video. How do you do this in somebody else's country? We do not have an emo state in South Africa, and we will never have an emo state in South Africa. South Africa has 9 provinces. South Africa is a sovereignty, and this to me is tantamount to invasion. It's tantamount to probably even coup d'etat. That is what it's tantamount to. And as a South African citizen, I am demanding to know from my government, how did they foil that, curb it, and deport these people? So that it sends a message to anybody else that is thinking of trying us. But last year we fought this. We said, what? Not in South Africa. Just in case you are wondering. They did this around December time when they knew very well that South Africans were busy. We were busy. And South Africans, when we saw this video, we put our business aside. We put the vibe aside and the partying and the fun, and we faced them. We're like, excuse me, what? Where? Here? Never. Never. South Africans shut it down, but the question is, after we were done with them, what did our government do? And I still ask a question. Why the government of South Africa is afraid of Nigerians? Why aren't they sending them back home? Because there's no reason for them to be here. There is nothing happening in Nigeria that should actually, even if there was, the refugee and asylum policy, I think it's an international policy, it speaks of your first safe country. And Nigerians' first safe country is Niger. If it's not Niger, it is Togo. No, in fact, it's Benin. If it's not Benin, it's Togo. I mean, going to Ghana, that's stretching it. But they also have this ECOWAS block thing. So that means their first safe countries is the ECOWAS, not South Africa. You have to fly hours and hours and hours to get to South Africa. I think around 9 to 8, in 8 to 9 hours. That's not your first safe country if something is happening in Nigeria. They are taking advantage, and when they take this advantage, they also are disrespectful. That's the part that is the really, really driving South Africans up the wall. It's the disrespect. Well, Nigerians, I hope you are seeing that this is your own doing. You are your own enemy. And the world will continue to shut its doors. You watch and see. If you guys don't talk to each other. But anyways, to be fair, there are, now I'm seeing on YouTube, there are Nigerians, lowly voices that are holding their fellow Nigerians accountable. But if you read the comment sections, my goodness gracious me, the lack of accountability, they are threatening their lives. How do you threaten somebody's life when they are saying, please, wherever you are, can you please behave so that you don't spoil it for the rest of us? But no, this person, I'm going to come to you, I'm going to do this to you. And if it's a woman, they threaten to force themselves on her. What kind of an animalistic behavior is that? Somebody is trying to say, and now I'm beginning to say why many are afraid to speak, because they know the capability of these crooks. But I am glad there are those that are starting to speak out. They are starting to speak out, but you can tell when they do it, there's some still sugar coating there. There's no direct mentioning of the crimes they are committing when they get to these countries that they go to. You need to call it out for what it is. But they get threatened in the comment section, and you're like, what? This person is saying, so that you too can travel, or so that you too, wherever you are, you can continue to stay there. Can you please stop doing 1, 2, 3? Because the people of that country, your host, they don't like it. No, you must be attacked. What kind? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think I ever will. I don't think any logical thinking person anywhere in the world will understand this. It's just shocking. Shocking. Anyways, I just thought, let me remind you with this video that what that evil 419 king was trying to do there, his people are here too, trying to create an entire state. Imagine the audacity, the gall, the gumption, the liver, the disrespect. No, not here. Not here at all. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later. Goodbye.